Hey everybody, it's Simply D, and yep, it's that time again. Welcome back to This Is My Life in the Blind. So, I got a couple questions that came in, and one of them, I thought was really interesting. So I said, okay, you know what? This is a good place to start. So, why did I get a seeing eye dog? Okay, well, it's kind of a funny yet tragic story, but I figure if you're gonna get to, hang out with me and get to know me and my personality, then you gotta understand my life is an adventure and a half. Okay, there are lots of things that happen to me that some of the fans may know, but my family doesn't know, or things that I've dealt with in my family life that my fans have not heard about. But with this, you guys get to all experience it together as I take you on my journey in the blind. So here's what it is. So my guide dog's name is Gypsy. And you'll see her in future episodes and videos and all that good stuff. But I have not cleaned up what you guys cannot see, so I am not about to even bother. My office is a mess. I just gotta be real. My office is crazy. Gypsy's not that far from me right now, but my office is insanely crazy because we just got through with a production shoot and I haven't put nothing away. So anyway, you guys will see her coming up here soon. Matter of fact, I have an incredible Gypsy story for you. But yes, my dog's name is Gypsy. She was trained actually, and I got her at a school for the that works with guide dogs and helps blind people obtain guide dogs, and the school's name is Guide Dogs of America. That's where I got her. She's an incredible dog. The lead trainer in that particular class, his name was Brian Young. Incredible at what he does. I tell people about him all the time, especially other blind people who are, just looking for great, incredible stories about how I obtained my guide dog and what the experience was like. People who are considering getting guide dogs, and I tell people that Guide Dogs of America is a great place, especially if you don't want to go far from home and you are in, LA area, something like that. It's a good place. It's a great place to go, really. And everybody's kind of like family there. At least they treat me well. So, I can only go off of my experiences. And I've met some incredible people there as well, from Patty, who you guys, if you're going to get a seeing eye dog, will meet in the front office, or you'll meet Mindy, who was really helpful to me post getting my guide dog and everything, and and she's just great people. I met Jamie. I mean, I met so many great people there. But anyway, I digress. I can go on tangents. Y'all gonna know that about me. And for the first couple episodes of this series, it will be unedited. It will be uncut. So how you hear me, how you see me, this is what happened in the moment. This is no edit, so just hang on for the ride. Anyway, Gypsy. So what happened was, actually, matter of fact, Mindy was the one who came to do my evaluation before I could even go get my guide dog, just to make sure that I would be good for the guide dog that I would get, and that they could make sure that I had a dog that would be great for my lifestyle and the things that I do. So I ended up going to the school because I primarily was a cane traveler, or I traveled by ear. So one of the things that most people don't know about me is that there are times when my sight goes completely out, right? Even my friends still have trouble with this concept sometimes. But sometimes I'll be walking down the street and I will not be able to see anything. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but in my mind, I can still see everything, so I don't know that I can't see. Okay, so my ears predominantly pick up and translate the world for me, so that I can, kind of know where everything is and all that. So that's why I try to stay away from ear infections as much as possible. Anyway, so one day I'm going to breakfast at a place near where I live, actually right down the street from where I live. So I figure, oh, okay, it's a great day to walk. It was kind of cold, especially the night before. But I said, you know what, it's a great day to walk. Let me go out and get me some breakfast at one of my favorite breakfast spots. So I do that, and I grab my cane, and I start heading out. Well, as I'm walking through, like between where I live at and where the places I'm going, there's like this little dirt field. And so it's kind of a necessity to go through the dirt field if you don't want to walk in the street. So that's what I'm doing. And I end up tripping over a dead body. This is no joke. I trip over someone had passed away, and they are laying in this dirt field. I'm walking with my cane, by the way, using proper cane technique, I might say. I would like to say. But anyway, anyway, I end up tripping over a dead body. Well, at that point, I realized that, although my cane is fantastic, and I will show you guys what it's like with me, traveling with my cane versus traveling with my guide dog. That's something people have requested, so that'll be coming up in future episodes. But I trip over the dead body. I fall flat. I'm face to face, basically, with this body, and I think it's a homeless person who's just sleeping, and I was really apologetic. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, trip over you, blah, blah." Next thing you know, I decide, wait a minute, my medical training kicks in. I'm like, wait a minute, something's just not right, because the person didn't move, they didn't do anything. And usually if somebody is tripping over you, you're going to at least make a sound, a murmur or something. So I check vitals. The person is deceased. So I said, after I called the police, and had them come through and everything, I said, when you put this experience with some of the other experiences I was having, there were incidences where I would be traveling, from where I live into LA, and I would occasionally, people, because I wear, glasses, I wear clear glasses a lot of the time, people would assume that I was faking my blindness. It wasn't just, people, even with my cane, people just said, "Oh, you know what? You don't need that because you're wearing glasses." So people would kick my cane out of my hand. I've had one person actually walk by me, snatch my cane up, and then throw it onto some railroad tracks. I've had the most incredible experiences, and, dealing with stuff. I've been pushed into the street. People telling me that I should be ashamed of myself for, acting like I'm a blind person when, because blind people only wear sunglasses. They don't wear regular glasses. What sense does that make to be out here ripping off the community and this, that, just crazy, encounters. I've had some very interesting encounters, and there will be an encounters episode because I know that there are a lot of people in the blind community who have had some of these encounters, to the degree where I was explaining some of these things to Mindy, who came to do my evaluation, and she even shared some other ones because she said, "Oh yes, that happens." My wife was appalled. My wife was just in total shock. So I said, I think one of the other key moments for me was I was doing a lot of traveling because of, being a performer and being a public figure somewhat. Then what was happening, I was going to LA a lot to go into the studio to record and stuff. And as it started getting darker and darker, it's harder and harder for me to see. And then when I'm in places that echo like crazy, it was even more confusing. So I said, I think it's time for me, especially after talking to my brother. That's really what did it for me. I spent a lot of time trying to compensate for my blindness, so that I can do things in a sighted way, because I do have sight. But what was happening was I was trying so hard to focus on doing things in a sighted way that I was forgetting that I still have needs as a blind person. So yeah, figured that out. So my brother, he told me that, it might be time. He was getting ready he had just signed up to go get his third seeing eye dog. And he said, "I think it's time for you to really look at getting a seeing eye dog. You're putting yourself in danger going out into these streets in different situations." He said, "And plus, people may have a problem with you walking with a cane," he said, "with your clear glasses, but no one's going to come up and kick your dog." He said, "No one's going to throw your dog under the track. No one's going to push you and your dog into the street. People are not going to treat you the same way." He said, "And yes, you have sight, but your sight is limited. You have to pay attention to the fact that your sight is limited." And he really kind of, encouraged me because I know and I felt that to deal with, I felt like this was normal for my life. I felt like, the things I was going through had been happening to me for years. And, I'm kind of a positive personality person. If you can't tell, that's kind of just who I am. So I just had to figure out what I wanted to do. And he really encouraged me to get a seeing eye dog. My wife was on board. My team was on board. And I really felt like for me to step away, this is just, being real, to step away from the things that I was working on for 4 weeks. I felt like I would be letting down the team that depends on me to be active and planning and moving forward. So when everybody was in total agreement, I was super excited because I, would be out walking in the street and I'd be scared because I couldn't, especially with cars that don't make sounds anymore, hybrids. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so I would just be really scared even walking down the street, especially at night, because my ears can only do so much. But even more than that, it was just the idea of I needed to really take an active role in me being safe. So anyway, I go to the school, I go through this incredible program. And as I go through this program, I meet the most incredible people in this class, and we all had some really interesting stories on why we got guide dogs. One of the guys in there, he was getting his 6th guide dog, and heard some, and a lot of us had very similar stories to what has happened to us in the public, how people will grab you and try to help you out, or whatever, the things you have to do for people to actually treat you with respect. And, there's a lot of things, but we'll go through some of those in the upcoming episodes because it's too much for one video. But anyway, so I go to this incredible school. I work with the head trainer's name is Brian. And then I'm working with Brian, and I get Gypsy. And I got to tell you about my dog real quick because you'll see it in other episodes. But my dog has the most personality I have ever seen in an animal, other than horses maybe. But she is confident. She is strong. She is very, sure of the job she's doing for you. So much so that if you're not paying attention to the work she's doing, she will do side jobs while she's doing her main job. And like sniffing flowers or, just all kinds of funny things. But she has a very strong personality, so much so that she reminds me of my daughter when I first started really working with her, because Gypsy would look me right in the face and then do something completely opposite of what I was telling her to do, just to see if I would stop her, just to see if I would correct the behavior, just to see what I would do. And I kind of appreciated that because that meant that she wasn't, that she'd be strong enough. Once we learned to work together, she'd be strong enough to go into the many environments that I go into and be okay, because her personality is strong and her desire to take care of me is very strong. And I love that. Like I can't picture a better situation for me having my first guide dog. So anyway, I got Gypsy because traveling in my everyday life became very hectic for me. It became for me to feel confident, especially if I'm traveling to different states or doing different things, I have to feel confident in my ability to move about the world around me, and Gypsy helps me do that. So that is why I got a seeing eye dog. Later I'll, do an episode on, what is it like having a seeing eye dog, because there are things you need to know if you're going to become a guide dog owner. It is not like having a cane. I will tell you that. Okay. Other than that, if you have any questions for me, you want to know something about my life, my experiences, I know we got some technology questions, and, how do I do the jobs that I do? What jobs do I do? I'm going to have to create a list of that for you guys. But there's a lot, and I want to make sure that I'm able to share a lot of these things with you. Right now, I got to get back to one of my other jobs. But I did not want this Friday to go by without you guys getting another video from me. This is Simply D, and thank you for taking this journey with me on my life in the blind. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.